Okay, today we wanted to go over the grips on the E9 tuning, the pedal steel, and also the chord positions, sort of a simplified view. And we're looking over from the player's perspective, which is a little bit from the right side. And you'll see how you see your left hand in the bar. Before we say anything further, let's just go over the strings, which are part of are part of the scale. It's open E tuning, so most of these are in the scale of E or are related in some way. And so the top string is F sharp, and the next one is D sharp, and the next one is G sharp. Third string, fourth string is E. Fifth string is B. Sixth string is G sharp again. Seventh is F sharp, and then E for the eighth string, then D, and then B is the lowest string. So then you need to think about how these are part of the scale or part of a chord. So E obviously is the root note of the scale, and then F sharp is the second, G sharp is the third, and then B is the fifth, and then we're back up to the eighth, or the first or eighth, which is the octave E. Now we also have on the second string this D sharp note, which is actually the seventh note of the scale. So the only note that we're really missing here is in the whole scale is the fourth, which you can get by hitting the B pedal. Okay, so those are the notes. And then when you build chords, you build them around the first, third, and fifth of the scale. So here's a chord, a 3, 4, and 5. E, 4, 5, and 6, 5, 6, and 8, 8, 6, and 10. There's also a B chord here, which if you hit 5 and then 1 and 2, it's the 5 chord to the E, which is B. And you can hit the 7th too. So now if this is E open, when we're at the first fret, we have F. Two more frets up, we have G. A, B, C, D, 2 frets higher, and then E. Now the other main position besides this open position is a pedals down position. So we're going to take the G chord because it works well to demonstrate this. The G chord is at the 3rd fret. So if I'm open now, if I add pedal A and pedal B and move to the 10th fret, then I have another G chord. So, and then I can do it on other strings. The same grips I told you about. We also have an intermediate position which is at the 6th fret, 3 frets up from the open position. And that's using the A pedal, which raises the 5th string and the 10th string a whole note, and raising the E a half a tone with the F lever. So we have an E here, a G here, and then another one here, and then another one here. Or three notes would be. And all the grips work, obviously. So open, A and F, pedals down. We also have two other positions to get that G chord, and that's 2 frets below the pedals down position is another G chord, but you have to let off the A pedal and lower the E a half a tone. And it turns out that that position is identical to this A and F position. But you may want to go to one position over the other depending on where you're coming from or going. And then there's another G chord, which is 2 frets up, starting on the 9th string, 9, 7, and 6 with pedals down. And then if you add the 5th string, you're going to get a major 7th. And if you don't add that, you're going to get a 6th. That's with the A pedal off. So those are the main G positions, and of course everything moves around. So G is here, A is here. So A on 5, and then go up 3, A and F. We've got another A. 12th fret, pedals down A, and I think you can figure out the rest. You'll need to learn where all the open positions are for the first 12 frets, and then everything repeats. And then you need to know where the pedals down positions are for all, and then you can figure out the intermediate ones. And I think I did mention that there's a 5 chord here on open too. So that's G, and then you have a 5 chord D, and you can add the 7th string too. And then the 1 chord is there on those original grips we talked about. And then this 9th string, if you add it, you get a 7th. G7th, and that's going to be a commonly used chord. The 7th chords, we're going to do a separate video on those. Those are really important, but it's a lot of material, so we'll cover that later. So I'll try to have some tab that goes over this for you. I might mention a little bit about tuning. Tuning is a big subject, and I don't want to get into it without going into it at a detail, but you're going to have to learn how to tune your guitar one way or another, and most likely you're going to have to buy a tuner. And you're going to have to do some reading about it. And you have a choice of tuning the guitar to itself, or you can tune it to the same tuning that's on a piano, which is slightly non-harmonious to your ear, but it's what all musicians usually are used to hearing, so it's not that difficult to get used to. But sometimes it makes a guitar sound like it's not in tune to itself. If you're playing in your basement, it's nice to have it in tune to itself. But we can cover that on another video. Thanks.